Hi, loves and lovettes. I want to do a little story time. I'm going to start doing videos that's called life lessons. So when you see that title, it means I'm talking about something that happened, when I was growing up or when I was little. Things that kind of is like built inside of me or whatever that I need to get out. It doesn't really haunt me or anything. I've kind of moved past a lot of things, but the reason I want to talk about it is to, help someone else that's maybe going through those things right now, and so they'll know that when they get, they might be thinking like, oh, I'm going through all this stuff now, and I might be going through this stuff for the rest of my life, and I'm, they might think that they're going to turn out to be a bad person or whatever. A lot of people thought that me and my sister turned out, bad people or whatever because of our upbringing and some of the things that we went through. But I'm a pretty good person. I'm pretty positive, and I'm always happy and encouraging, or just whatever. So this is basically life lesson 1. So I'm just gonna, when you see that, I'm just gonna title them just like that. The next one will be life lesson 2, life lesson 3, or whatever. Life lesson vlog 1 or whatever. So basically, it's weird that me and my sister, we sometimes think like we wish that we can make a timeline of our life, because it's so much scattered stuff in my head of where we lived and all of the events that happened in our life. We can't even remember some dates and time and how old we were when some things happened, which is crazy. Stuff is just so scattered. We moved around so much. But one day I want to sit down and do it. I don't know if I'll be able to. I'll probably need help or whatever. But anyway, guess I'm trying to start from the beginning to like what I remember. I remember when I was younger. I know for as long as I can remember, my mom and my dad has been on drugs. And what I mean by drugs is, crack or whatever. As far as I can remember, I mean not as far as I can remember, but I think my mom started it from my dad, but I'm not positive. I'm not trying to blame it on my dad or whatever, nothing like that. I love my daddy. But they were young. I know they were like 18 or so, or something like that. And when we were little, it was my mom had a older son. His nickname is Onion like the vegetable or whatever, onion. But his real name is Horatio Keith Odell. And he was by another man, not my dad or my sister or my brother's dad. I have a sister named Shantae, and I have a brother named James, and we all have the same dad. But our brother Horatio, he had a different dad. He was the oldest, and he was taken away from my mom when he was little. I don't know the exact age, but I think it was between 3 and 5. And so I never met him in my life ever. He was taken before I was even born. But it was my mom, my dad. They had my brother James, and they had me, and then they had my sister Shantae. I don't even remember my mom and dad being together, like us being in a house doing our little family thing or whatever. I don't remember any of that for real. My mom told us stories about when we were little, and they stayed together. Like she had to go rob somebody one time to get us some Christmas presents. She went to go do it. We were little. I don't even remember even having a Christmas or Thanksgiving or nothing like that when I was little. But yeah, my mom said she broke in somebody's house one day and took their Christmas presents and gave them to us or whatever. So it was that kind of life. I remember staying with my granny and my granddaddy in Brooklyn. I don't even know how old we were. I remember we had my granddaddy and my granddaddy. We had a farm, and we stayed at the farm. You know, it was at the farm a lot with my cousins and aunties and uncles and stuff. And the farm used to be fun. And we stayed in Brooklyn. I remember with my dad. It was just him, and he had another girlfriend. Me, my sister, and my brother. This is when we got a little bit older. I remember staying with my daddy, and he was still on drugs then. My mom was still on drugs, and I remember my mama coming around every once in a while. But other than that, I don't remember all of us staying in the same house under the same roof. We moved around a lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. I counted it one day. Me and my sister, we went to 11 different schools. And we stayed in Brooklyn, Madison, of course, different places in East St. Louis. East St. Louis, Edgemont, Cahokia, St. Louis, that might be it, I don't know. Centerville or whatever, you know, different places in East St. Louis. But it was a lot of moving around. It was a lot of, not a lot, but my mama had different boyfriends. I don't remember my dad having any other girlfriends for real besides. When we stayed in Brooklyn, he had a girlfriend named Sherry. He was with her for for a long time. I remember living with my daddy and Sherry, and for some reason, Sherry used to like me more, I guess. We were little, but like she used to do stuff like do my hair in, you know, real pretty way with all kind of barrettes and ponytails and stuff like that. And then she'll do my sister hair, and it'll be just like a ponytail or two ponytails. And my sister hair was just as long as mine, probably longer. So I don't know. Like, I don't remember us having any kind of extra special bond or anything like that, but I did notice that, like, she used to like me more. I don't know why. So that's something that I remember. But for some reason, my brother stayed there, but I don't even remember my brother being there like all the time. I guess my brother was always gone either with my granddaddy doing, you know, at the farm, or helping him do something. And my brother worked at this Chinese store, the Rice House, that was literally right in front of our house. It was our house, it was this alley, and it was this Rice House. The best Rice House ever. It was the best Rice House ever. He worked there. I remember when we stayed with our daddy, and my daddy, you know, was on drugs or whatever, and he owed these boys some money, like young boys, and probably around the same age as my brother, maybe some of them a little bit older. And I remember, you know, hearing my brother have a conversation. I don't know who he was talking to, but he was just like, yeah, you know, they said they was gonna beat me up because daddy owed them some money and he ain't paid them or whatever, so they was gonna try to beat my brother up. So we'll be over my granddaddy and my granddaddy and granny house. You know, my granny be like, okay, you know, it's time for y'all to walk on home or whatever. And my brother used to be like, you know, can y'all drop us off or whatever. My granddaddy used to drop us off all the time. But one day, my granny didn't know what was going on, I don't think. But one day she was like, no, y'all get out there and y'all walk home. You know, it's still daylight. You walk home, you know, you make sure you watch your sisters. So we walk in, and I think we lived probably a good, from granny, about 7-8 blocks maybe from my granny. And, you know, we was power walking. Whenever we got to the next block, my brother would push us behind him, and he'll look, you know, like all the way down the street, a real good thorough look, and all the way down that street, a real good look, and make sure, I guess he didn't see those boys. And then he'll be like, okay, come on, and we'll run across the street. And he'll do that for every block. Make sure, you know, he looked both ways and see if he saw them around the corner or coming or posted or whatever until we got home. And I used to just be like, golly, my brother got to watch his back like this because these boys trying to jump him for, some money that my daddy owed them. One day, we was in the backyard playing, me, my sister, and my brother. And these, I think it was 3 or 4 boys just walked up in our backyard. And they literally had my brother, him down on the porch, he was, already covering up his face because he knew they meant business. And, he was like, where your daddy at? Your daddy owes us money, and we going to beat your ass, and this and that or whatever. And we ran. My daddy was actually in the house. We ran in the house like, Daddy, these boys outside, they trying to beat up Lil James or whatever. My daddy came out there. He was like, yeah, hey, get off my son or whatever. They went in the alleyway, and he had a conversation with them. I don't know what they talked about. I don't know if he paid him or not or whatever, but I don't think my brother ever got beat up from them boys. I don't think. I guess my daddy paid him. I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of scary. We were little. But other than that, I never even saw my daddy do drugs before. I never saw him do drugs. I saw him with drugs. I saw him buy drugs. I never saw him do it. Which is, it's bad enough that we knew that they did it, but to see them actually do it, I've seen my mama do it. I've caught my mom doing it, in the bathroom, and I bust in the bathroom, and she's doing it, maybe with somebody or with her sister or whatever. I know I've saw my mama do it before. I've found straight shooters everywhere. Under couches, beds, whatever. They were never just laying around, just looking for stuff or whatever. I didn't found them or whatever. So it wasn't nothing new there. I'm not going to get into too many stories right now. I'm going to leave those for the other vlogs because some of them are really kind of hard to talk about, some of the things that we went through. This is basically just breaking the ice, I'm kind of nervous to even put it out there. I don't want a pity party or nothing like that. I just, just want to let people know that, everybody has been through. You never know what somebody is going through. I was really young, taking care of, trying to take care of my sister, and basically trying to keep her from being tainted from some of the stuff we've been through. I never wanted her to go through, nights of being, ever feeling alone or feeling like she didn't have anybody, because it was a lot of nights where me and my sister was alone, and fending for ourselves and trying to, do things on our own, doing things that we shouldn't have been doing at a young age, being girls. So, I guess that's all I'm going to say for tonight. But, like I said, you never know what somebody is going through. So, I always try to be positive as possible. I'm always trying to encourage people because, Susie could be getting beat on every day, and you could just shoot her a text and just be like, hey, Susie, I love you, or, just some positive words, just I try to do that every chance I get. And I know we get busy with our lives and everything, but it wouldn't hurt to smile at a person when you passing by. Everybody in the world is not bad. I know it's a lot of bad people in the world and a lot of bad things that's going on in the world, but everybody is not bad. So, it would have meant a lot to me, and I'm pretty sure it happened to me when I was younger. But for somebody to just do the smallest, nicest thing for me or my sister, because we was going through so much, it can really mean a lot to a person. So, try to be nice, everybody. Try to be positive, and Try not to stress and get mad about the littlest thing that's going on in your life because it's somebody who's going through something way worse, you know. So have a good night, everybody. See ya.